Hello and welcome back to Factor Y. We're going to continue our quest to build a giant factory today. We're going to start off with Mark II elements, belts, and stuff so that we can increase our throughput on iron and power. So in order to do that, we're going to need Mark I belts to turn into Mark II belts. We're currently manufacturing Mark I belts here, but it's kind of jammed in here with the coal and this stuff, so I'm just going to leave this be for now. Maybe we'll come back and delete it eventually, but for now, we're just going to leave it be. So we're going to come up here and start something up here. I've kind of got it roughed out, so we have an idea what I want to do. We're going to put down 2 of these making... These will be making Mark I belts, so those need gears. So this will make... let's see, what will this make? This will make gears. This will make gears. This will make belts. Mark I belts. And this will make Mark I belts. So we'll need some iron over here, as well as over here. And then we can put the arms in. Let's see, let's just grab it from here. Alright, so that'll make belts. We will output belts to this middle row here, so we can actually delete these. And this will be motors coming in. Mark II belts require motors, so let's put these in here. Like so. So that'll come down, and we need this one as well. Copy this down, rotate this around. Alright, so now we have belts and motors coming down this line. So then I think all we need to do is hook it up, because Mark II belts require 1 belt and 1 motor. So I think these operate at 256. Yes, 1 belt every 256, and these operate, we need 1 belt every 512, so we can operate 4 of these. And then we'll just do something similar that we did over on the other one, where we bring it down, wrap it around, and make all these extra parts out of it. So for that, we'll grab another one of these. We'll output the belts off the back here. Rotate them around. Somewhere over to here, I guess. And then make our parts out of them. So all we gotta do is put some arms on this stuff. And then we'll need crossings here and here, here and here, splitters, make sure they're rotated the correct way, put them here, 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 and here. Copy these down. And there we go, Mark II belts being made. So I'll put together a super quick factory over here, just assembling all the parts. These parts here, the crossing, the splitter, the merger, mixer and swapper, and all that good stuff. Alright, so I got the assemblers laid out, just mergers. This is crossing, mergers, splitters, mixers, and swappers. So those are all Mark II. They just require 4 belts and 2 motors, so quite a bit of stuff. It's going to take a while to buffer all this up. But we can just grab this here, take this over to here, and just run it back up. That way it'll prioritize making the belts first. It'll take motors, whatever it needs for the belts, and then if it has any motors left, it'll make these extra components here. So we just gotta put some splitters and crossers in and hook these up into provider chests, and we'll be good to go. Now this takes 4 motors to operate these 4. We're only making 3 motors, so we can easily just copy this down, make another one, copy that over. So let me get all this hooked up and then we'll see what's next. We're going to try some on this one. So these use 4 energy each, so this is 16 energy to get these motors over to this side, where these swappers just swap the sides of the belts on stuff, and then you only use 3. So I would need 2 of these, so that would be 6 energy instead of 16. So it's quite substantial, so let's try it out and see if we like it. Delete all this for now. So we would take one of these, put this here. Apparently we have to delete them. So we would swap sides of the belts here and then swap them back over to here. So that'll move, you can see it moves the belts from one side to the other side. Oops. And then moves them back. And then that would put motors over here, and that way we could grab motors from here and belts from here. Now we're working to use a lot less energy. So I think we'll do that up here as well. And next to these we also unlocked flow control. So this distributes items from one input belt to 3 output belts while prioritizing the front. So it'll send out the front first and then sides. And this one does the opposite, it sends it out the sides instead of the front. So those require splitters to be built and chips. So I've just put them in here so I don't forget about them. I'm not going to hook them up yet because I'm not going to use them right away. But that way I'll remember that we need to manufacture them here because the splitters are right here. So looking at some other stuff that we could build, I have arms Mark II to build. Those require motors. I have miners Mark II, those require 4 motors. I don't know what else requires motors, but I'm thinking we need a boatload of motors. So I'm going to build an extra, I think what I'm going to do is build an extra row of these motors, because this is taking forever to produce. And then once we use up belts, it's going to take even longer to refill them. So I'm going to do a whole bunch of motors. I'm going to come way down here, grab this iron, this copper, grab some coal from over here, and make a big smelting column and bring up more motors, more copper and iron, so that we can make a whole bunch of motors. And then I'm going to come over here. This is where we've been doing power. So I'm going to find another coal patch and do some more power. So we're going to add more power and more motors. So I put more power in, but I'm getting sidetracked. We'll continue our motor expansion in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and add miner Mark II as well as assembler Mark IIs. Those are being made over here where the stone bricks are coming down here. So miners are being made here, but we're going to need more room. Assemblers are being made here. So let's move this miner operation down, and we'll put these assembler Mark IIs up here and make miners down here. So let's copy this for now. And copy this one for now. And then let's put in a second one. Let's see what this requires. Miners Mk2. Require miner Mark 1, stone bricks, and motors. So we could extend this down. This would be the bricks. This would have to come down to make the gears for, or screws for the Mark 1 miners. So we just need to get motors down here. Stone bricks. Yeah, so all we need to do is get motors down here. So if we have room right here, we could probably sneak another line through here. Put motors down here, because motors will probably be needed for assemblers as well, Mark 2. Alright, so that's hooked up. You can chain arms like this, so it'll pass it to here, and this one will pass it into here. So that way they can share a provider chest. We just need to grab one of these, and copy that in there. So now that'll be making Mark 2 miners. Make sure it has everything it needs. It's got motors. Oh, it's got 8 stone bricks. Okay, so yeah, it's got everything it needs. Once it's lighting up now, so it's making them. So we can go up here and delete this. And then we can put Mark 2 miners up here, or I'm sorry, Mark 2 assemblers up here, which require assemblers and motors. So that's easy enough. We got that stuff right here. So I'm not going to hook it up quite yet, because I don't want them to make. I want it to make the miners first. So we can just grab this over here. And then we can put these back into here. So the only thing I have to do is grab motors off this line, but I'm not going to split it yet because I want the miners to be made first. So motors continue to be lack of availability. They're pretty starved out. You can see the belt is super thin. They come one every couple. So let's go ahead and continue our quest to build those. I'm going to grab this up here, smelting column, copy that, and we will put a couple of them down here. We'll grab this iron and this copper and this coal. Make sure I have enough room to put them in, so let's put it down here. So rotate that. I'll just stick it in right here. And we'll put another one right here for... I'm out of stuff to copy, so I'm going to have to wait till... I'll probably just delete this and let it repopulate my stock, and then I will copy it so that I'm not redoing it. So we'll just wait till materials build up. I'll work on getting these smelting columns built so that we can have more motors being manufactured, so we can speed up the process. Alright, I've got the new smelting columns done. Had to drag out coal from a couple different places to make it work. So we can just copy these down now. And I think all I'll do is reverse these belts, so I'll actually be sending copper and iron from down below up to here. And then it'll go onto the belt and basically inject into the belt more copper and iron if it makes it past all these. So let's copy this down. Let's just go ahead and... I don't know if I have enough supplies for this. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll start with 12 of them. So I'll run the belts up. What's cool is if you actually zoom out, you can see your factory a little bit. And to show you the scale of this, so this is my factory. But if you zoom out, I mean, it's like just a small dot on the map. It's crazy how big this thing is. So we'll zoom back in and get this motors running and see if that fixes our motor problem. So I probably overdid it a little bit on these motors, but I don't know if there's such a thing in a factory game, so we'll see how it goes. But there is a lot of them. We're going to do Mark II arms next. Those require Mark I arm, 4 gears, and 2 motors, so more motors. So I think we're making arms right here, so I think we're just going to bring motors down here. We can probably move this over a little bit. Move this down, delete this. Let's just move this over for now. We'll move it back into place in the future. So let's add another one of these just to be safe. Making 3 arms. So that would need, this would need to be copied. Alright, so that's 3 things making arms Mark 1. So then let's do Mark II arms here. We need more gears. And then we'll have to bring in motors down here. And then we'll have to like do a double crossing here, so this will need, actually what we can do is we don't need these anymore. Right, so yeah, so we don't need these anymore, so let's go ahead and move these down. Make the motors come in here, and down, and then we can make a crossing here. Grab the splitter here. So this will be motors coming in and off this line. Gears. Oh, but then we gotta somewhere export them somewhere. Suppose we could just export them into the thing, but I'm sure we're gonna need them for over here for long belts and or long arms. I have a third spot. I could export them to a third row. Suppose we could try that. So that would be like this. So this would be taking in belts, this would, or arms, this would be taking in motors. This would be sending out Mark II arms. And this would be sending in gears. So that should work. Let's see if it produces. It's going to take a while because it has to do 4 gears. So we'll come back and check on this, make sure it's working, but I think it is. This is what I came up with. I spread these out a little bit. These are the Mark II arms. They grab them, put them on here, and then take them out to here so we can make them and use them for other things. We will have to grab one of these, stick it in here. Is this limited to 50? We're going to make this 75. And we will put a Mark II arm in. I don't have any built yet, but we'll put a Mark II arm right here. So let's get these going. Let's copy these motors down. And then we will also delete all this. And we'll delete this. And then we will grab the, we'll use a long arm here to grab this, move this over to here. Move that to there, and then we can just move all this down. To there. So just gonna move this over one. So that way long arms are still being made. Mark II belts and arms will now be made. All we gotta do is grab, we'll grab one of these for now. Copy that, stick it over here. And that is 50, so now we have Mark II arms being made, so I can grab one and make sure that we have swings much faster, and that way it'll grab the Mark I arms and stick them in the chest to make sure we have them before it uses them for something else. So that is Mark II arms done. I think we'll also put chips on the belt. So chips are going to be let's see, chips are this one here. Requires iron plates and wires. So wires are just, I believe they're just iron or copper plate. So let's move this down a little bit here. So I'm going to put them here and here. And we'll put the supply down the center here, and that way I can run another set of chip builders on the outside if we need to. So this would be here and here, crossing here, and iron down here, copper down here. So chips will come out the side here. These are chips here. And we'll have to do a crossing here. And another splitter down here for the copper. So I'll just run a couple of these down here, and that way we'll have a couple of them come out in belts. We'll see how many chips we need as we progress. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. We got most of the Mark II stuff done. The arms, the belts, the miners, the assemblers, all that good stuff. So next episode we've unlocked research level 3, so we will start doing that in our research center down here. And as well, in between episodes, I'm going to upgrade our power plants to this. This is all using Mark II belts. You can see how fast they're moving compared to this one, which is level 1. So this puts out 100 energy. This puts out 200 energy, and it smelts it twice as fast. So good stuff there. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.